Hey everyone, I'm Mark,
And I'm Alex.
and this is Final Stop for Final Fantasy Talks. Well, welcome everyone back to the podcast. Episode 86, man. We're going to dive into Final Fantasy XII a little bit more today. I mean, we're going to actually be going a lot more into detail, just kind of with beginning mechanics, beginning things. But where we left off was we just fought the Rogue Tomato, kind of part of the storyline, that forest hunt just as an introduction, but also to get the story going. We try to go back in, and at first you might be like, hey, what's going on? Because I don't think nothing really moves. You can't do anything, especially if you don't talk to anyone. But hey, man, there's a little child here. We know who this is.
Yeah, this is Kites. It's that little kid from earlier.
Vaughn.
Uh, yeah, exactly. Well, first of all, the reason why he was out here, because I think Vaughn is just like, what are you doing out here? He's like, well, I came looking for you because, Penelo was worried about Vaughn and all of this kind of stuff. So everybody's just waiting outside the gate. They can't get in. You get this little scene, and basically a chocobo comes up, and the guards are like, all right, open up the gates, but it's only for the chocobo.
This is for the Chocobo, man. This dude's like, this one here's a pedigree parader, boy. Like, dude, this thing is like high class, man. This is thoroughbred, man. Do the Italian
Exactly.
finger thing, man. Like, this got
Yeah.
class.
Yeah, no, seriously. And I mean, it's kind of funny, like you said, because Vaughn is standing in the way, right?
Get out of the way,
And
man.
he gets like pushed aside. It's like, get out of the way, boy. Basically, like these are our thoroughbreds here. I mean, what are you, some scrub sitting over here, like
You
getting in the way of
orphan.
the chocobos? Come on.
You orphan peasant. Get
So,
outside. Oh, you stink, man. You're gonna leave that smell on my Chocobo's feet later.
and I mean, basically, they're really rubbing it in here too, because they say a prettier price than 100 of you provincials would fetch. Basically talking about like how these chocobos
Just
are
call it,
so
man,
expensive.
peasants. You can just call it to our face. We know it. I mean, we're here in the slums. We got to go to Low
True.
Town here. I mean, it's okay.
Yeah, I tried to sugarcoat it with the provincials, but
Yes. I mean, typical. He's a strong-willed young lad. We'll just say that, right? He's got courage, even if it is just completely idiocracy. you know.
he's got his spray paint abs.
Yes, he. Yeah, he does. He's like Penelo. Is this how many abs we have? I forget. Oh, dude. I mean, seriously, he plays that up. He puffs that chest up. He wants to get. He's ready to go toe to toe with it. Like, dude, these guys are in like ironclad armor. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna punch that? Ow! You gonna kick that? Ow! What are you gonna?
Yeah,
You're gonna
yeah.
use that
'Cause
knife?
he's like that does it, right? At this point, he's just like, he's like, I'm gonna do something. It's
He's
like, all
done.
right, bust out your dagger. You're gonna try and fight these guys with spears. Not gonna end too well. But he also loses his lilies. His
Oh,
Galbana lilies. They get all
man.
stomped up by the chocobo, so he's really upset right now.
Yes. That was the final straw, man. He couldn't take it. My lilies. He's like, oh. Well,
Lilies.
dude, what's Miguelo
Yeah.
doing? He's like a genie, man. Just poof. He just appears anywhere. There's trouble with these guys because here comes Miguelo. He's bearing gifts, man. He wants to help out. He's trying to save the day. He has like this. He's holding this little flagon of wine. It looks like.
It may lack the flavor and depth of some of your Arcadian wines, but there's more than for all of you to cool their throats, of course.
Cool their throats.
That's my
We like
best.
we like that line. It's one of our favorite ones, man. It's a good one. His voice is something else. It is hysterical, but
Yeah, the voice actor, props to him, because it really does, like, I don't know how he managed to have such a
he's a
hoarse
lizard,
voice.
man. He sounds like a lizard. I was thinking about this, all right. You're a young lad in the Arcadian Empire, man. You're like, when I want to be a soldier someday when I grow up, Poppy. And he's like, you do it, son. And man, you get to this rank. You're part of this like conquering army that's just slamming down foes, man. Yeah, you occupy sometimes. You get posted out of gate. Look, man, big dog, he's coming to town. Okay, he's woofing it up all right and left. Like, you got to keep this gate closed. You can't just let these provincials lay about. You can't let them in. Keep them out. This guy, all it took was a whine. That was it. He's like, okay, fine. I'll just like disregard my duty. I'll commit treason. I'll forego my soldier's order. Let him through the gate. It took wine. That was it. It
Yeah, I
didn't
mean,
even
it is
have the
kind of.
flavor or depth. Are you kidding me?
Oh, that's all it took. Yeah, they're that thirsty.
I was thirsty, man. It cooled.
I'm
I have
thirsty.
no, I have no regrets, Judge. It cooled my throat.
I just needed something to cool my throat.
Well, man, I mean, we're through though, but Vaughn, he's still hurting, man. He didn't like being put in his place like that. I mean, look, I wouldn't either. I'd be harboring some ill feelings towards this empire as well, man. They came in, they killed everyone. Now they're occupying it. This sucks. He's going through it, but Penelo, man, Penelo she just wants to fix him. It's not your job, Penelo. It's not your job. Don't fix him.
Yeah, and to set the stage a little bit, so this is the part basically. So the consul's parade is about to start, and they're running over there. It's FMV time. I kind of agree with you. It's like as Oren would say, "I heard you were quite the crybaby."
Quite the
So,
crybaby.
we
Yes.
got another crybaby here. Basically, it's the typical protagonist, of the Final Fantasy series. Yeah, this is the part. So we got the consul's parade finally starting, and you get these. Of course, we got to point out how similar these little hovercraft things of the parade. You see them; they look so similar to Star Wars. But, anyways,
These dudes. What an impact Star Wars had on these fine young developers. Great for Star Wars. What a win that was. Because these guys, they loved it. They're like, we're doing this in 12. And you, by the way.
yeah, right.
Yeah, it's
This is
a great little
perfect.
scene, I guess. It's pretty cool to see the hovercrafts go around. Vaughn, he's like running up. He wants to look at the hairdo guy, who's up there. He's looking around. Like you can tell he's the
Yeah,
man
they
in
always do
charge.
that. It's like an emperor. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like Julius Caesar, the thing where they're going down the middle of the crowd, everybody's staring, and they're standing on top of the hovercraft. He's just like looking all big. He's like, yep, yep,
Uh,
I'm the new boss around here.
it took you 2 years too. Like, gosh, man. All right, took your time. Yeah, this is a nice little cinematic kind of scene that we get, and it's like a few follow, but we find out this is this is Vayne. His name's Vayne. Their new consul, which is the hand that feeds them, the dictator.
I would like to introduce your new consul of, Arcadia, basically, is what it is now. And
Yeah.
he just walks right in front. He's like, all right, forget this. I'm actually going to go talk to these people because, yeah, he sees that obviously nobody's too chuffed about this. They're not too excited about it.
Is it with
Shoot
hatred
it
that
from
you
it.
look upon your consul, man? Is it? Well, yeah, dude. I mean, you literally
Yeah.
killed us. You conquered us.
Yeah.
Like, my mom and dad are dead because of you. Rex, he's gone.
yeah. Yeah. We missed Rex. Rex is gone thanks
No,
to you.
no,
And
thanks.
this is the
Come on
best
in,
part.
man. We're so glad you did that. Come on in. We love you.
Right.
Yay, he's in.
Yeah, and the voice acting is so great here because it goes to the crowd and it's just like several voices and you can pick up one is my favorite. Spit on your empire. Go back to Arcadia.
Spit on your empire,
yeah.
sir.
Yeah, it's like, man, get out of here. Come on.
He knows how to spin a lie, I guess. I mean, look, we and you most likely will too. As you watch it, feel the same sentiments as Vaan and Penelo felt. But he just gives a whole honest speech talking about how the late king loved peace and how the late king, he's not gone. He's still with you. He's with you guys on.
In
He
our
wants peace
hearts.
with all, and that's what he was
Yeah.
strong for, known for. And everyone's like, oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, yeah. He
Oh,
wins them
sweet.
over with the whole like, don't ever forget your great king that you had that I killed, but
Shh, don't
he
keep
was
that
still a really
secret.
good guy, so you should definitely remember him and be proud and that kind of stuff.
He would have never died had we not come, but you love me too, right? I mean, come on,
Yeah.
I'm cool.
Right, he wins him over with the whole like, "I will endure your slings and arrows."
Oh,
Very
cool.
like medieval.
My dirty looks, you don't care. Yes, well, he spins them. They all start clapping for him even, and that's when again like Vaan and Penelo are looking around like what what is going on right here? Why is everyone doing this? Like that's it? A little speech is like, oh, we feel better now. Thanks, man. Thanks for clearing that up for us.
Yeah, right. Pretty much, they're obviously they're not going to clap. They're just watching this whole thing transpire. It appears to have won over the crowd with that compelling speech of remember the guy that I killed and you know. But then, again, like Miguelo, like the genie that he is, always showing up. Obviously,
Ah,
he's throwing the banquet, so he comes up and he's really sucking up to Vayne here.
Your Excellency. Dude, he just goes, he lays it
There
on
you go.
thick.
Yep,
I mean,
exactly.
I'd probably be afraid for my life too. It's like, this guy's dangerous, man. We don't know who this guy is.
Yeah, but Vayne, again, he's playing the people's man. He's like, it's like there's not going to be any of this excellency stuff. You can call me Vayne, and being very personable. Seems to work out with Miguelo. Well, at first, actually, he doesn't accept it. He's just like, bah.
That would
He
be,
doesn't really
I
want.
don't know. It's
Yeah,
uncordial, man.
he's
He
like,
didn't
no,
feel
I
comfortable with
I
it.
could not. Yeah, and they're gonna drink together and everything. They're gonna be best buds,
They're gonna be
basically.
best buds. It's like, yeah, all right, whatever, dude. No one believes you. Vaughn is very upset that Miguelo bowed. He was watching it, from the stands. He was still watching. He didn't like it. Penelo just steps right up. Excuse me. And she's like, no, it's not being ignorant. Like, he's like, what do you expect him to do? To not bow and then get killed? Like, sure, of course he bows, man.
Yep, exactly. Penelo's a lot more mature than Vaughn on a lot of this kind of stuff, especially when going through. That's a
You
pretty
got
good
an
point.
Ico in
It's
the
like,
party.
okay, if you think about it, in those days, you show any sort of disrespect or anything like that, then it's like to the guillotine
Yeah, put him in the
or whatever the
stocks
heck they would
at
have.
best, and yeah, you're dying at worst. So
Yeah. After that, you basically have Vaughn and Penelo just hanging out, walking down the streets, talking about like she's like, oh, it's crazy how much the Empire or how much Dalmasca has changed since the Empire's come in. They're basically just chatting it up.
yeah, dreaming. The whole reason the consul's even here is for a giant banquet, right? So Vaughn's like, oh, I wonder what that would be like to get in there. Well,
Yeah.
I'll find a way. And talking about getting some riches back, right? Like, hey, they gotta have some treasure in the palace, so I'm gonna go in and rob it. She was like, why would you do that? To get back to Dalmasca? And she's like,
Yeah.
dude, oh please, the first thing you buy is an airship. It's like, oh, gotcha,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, you just buy an airship, you'd be gone. See ya, Penelo.
And then she's just like, well, stay out of the dungeon till then. He wants to be a sky pirate. So
He
that
does.
makes sense.
He didn't really deny it. He was
Just
like,
wants to get
yeah,
the riches.
he's probably would.
Exactly. No, for real. So now you're actually given free reign. After all these scenes and everything is kind of nice. Now we're kind of going to talk about some categories of the different types of things that you can get. So as far as weapons, because the one thing about this game is that it has a crazy amount of items, weapons, armor, magics, techniques, gambits, all these types of things. So we're going to have to kind of be a little bit strategic. So the way that we're going to do this is we'll talk about certain categories, especially when it comes to weapons. And maybe down the line, we might mention some specific ones that are really, standouts or look really good. And as far as armor, we're just basically going to talk about the different levels. Yeah, you'll have like light armor one, two, three, so on and so forth.
As we go, of course, right now it's just a whole lot all at once. So we might be able to talk about individual items a little bit more in detail as they come available. But it's a lot of stuff, as you said. It's frequent. You often find, unless you're doing, stealing or other things, that money you're balling on a budget. You're balling on a budget most of the time. I mean, it's gonna be like that. You're gonna have to pick and choose what you want, unless you're doing some extra stuff, and then which time, usually money's not that big of a deal. But all right, man. Well, let's talk about weapons because Zodiac Age changed a lot. So maybe we actually got to take a step back and talk about jobs a little bit more. We brushed on it in the last episode. Zodiac Age brought that in, and that changed a whole lot. Now, as far as like gameplay down the line and what you're able to accomplish, not really, but within the job system, and if you just kind of like doubling up on certain jobs and using different things, you might find all of a sudden, hey, wait a second, I don't have any late white magic spells. Like what's going on here? Well, maybe you never selected a white mage, or you might do a lot of bushy or something and they don't have any magic at all. You might not realize this and stuff. And that's what's actually kind of fun about the Zodiac Age because it introduced it. And then also with it, it had to then introduce these weapons very early because some of these katana, you can get a katana right now. Yeah, right, dude. That was down the line. That thing's powerful, man. You're gonna be chopping
Yeah,
things right and left.
exactly. And like you said, I mean, only certain jobs are able to use certain things. And so the weapons are one of those, very specific kind of things.
Yeah. There's a
But
little bit of overlap every now and then between unlocked things, but it's never usually like the full entire line of something.
exactly,
So
exactly. But yeah, the first shop, I mean, you can pretty much get almost everything you need. So you have sword available, you have katana, you've got spear, you've got pole, you've got bow, you've got gun, you got axe, you got dagger. So literally, you could select
you got a wide variety of
bunch
jobs
of
here. Yeah.
exactly. You could almost select any job that you want, except for the mage ones at this
Yeah.
point.
And that would just be the weapon, which isn't really even that big a deal. So for instance, well, what if you selected Black Mage? There isn't a staff here. So yeah, what are you gonna do? Well, go buy the magic instead. So let's go to magics, right? Because in this, that's the same thing. In order to use these spells, you have to have the licenses, and so you need a class or a job rather that can use these licenses because not all of them can. And so I've definitely been caught up in early games on Zodiac Age where I'd pick a job and then the stuff I bought, or maybe it was I bought the stuff before I picked the job, it didn't align and it was just wasted money. I was like, well, crap, man, like you can't even use that stuff. For instance, if you went Black Mage, so let's say you turned Vaughn into a Black Mage, fire, man, go get that, right? Because the magic available, we got Blindna, Cure, Fire, and Slow. And Fire, that's a great one. Or maybe a Time Mage, you can get Slow. It's just really interesting on how they did that because, in the original game, you could get all of these right off the bat for any character, pretty much. You would just have to kind of, okay, I need to get there and directionally go there. But now it's not so much.
When it comes to the armor, so at this first stage, you kind of have the best light armor at this point. Got one and two unlocked for that. So you can buy like the leathers. You do have heavy one. And actually we'll go over some of these. So basically the light armor, it boosts HP, has decent defense and magic defense, so it kind of depends.
Yeah, it's kind of
Um
like mid.
Yep. And in this game, of course, the headgear is for magic defense, and then the body armor or like the torso piece is usually for like your physical defense.
Yeah.
So the heavy one is sort of like your heavy armor, your knight's armor. That gives you a nice little strength boost, which is kind of good. Doesn't boost HP, but has great defense. And then, of course, you have Mystic one also available. And that's, of course, going to be for your mages, increases magic stat a little bit, but has pretty low defense and magic defense in general.
It also boosts MP for the most part, so you'll get more MP out of
Oh,
that.
yeah, that's right.
So that's each of them is kind of a drawback, and but honestly, I usually just like will go either at the very very beginning. I'll just like leave Vaughn in light, but then
Mhm.
I'll usually just go like Mystic or Heavy. Honestly, that's kind of the do it. If it's like a more magic user, I'll use Mystic because the magic boost, obviously. And usually they're not getting attacked because usually the heavy guys will have decoy or something like that, which of course we'll get to later. But and you get the nice strength boost, man. I mean, it's huge. It's nice. Some of them are sweet.
Yeah, no, exactly. So it's kind of cool though because you can make tailor-made characters almost in a way, and we were talking about jobs and how they have specific weapons, magic. Well, armor's no different, and that's kind of the cool thing about it is, especially compared to the first one where you everybody could get everything essentially
Yeah,
depending on which way on the license board you went. This one, you actually have specialized characters, so I really like that because it makes it so that you kind of have to have some sort of diversity in your team,
absolutely.
or it's really beneficial to do that.
Because like when I was putting together the single job challenges and thinking about it, that's for instance going back to Bushy. I when I was like, hey, if I did all that, I was looking, I was like, wow, they have no magic whatsoever. And so if you
Right.
just get caught up in doing that, you might get some combos to where you're just really super physical heavy, or maybe you're super ranged, or you're just super magic. If you're not really like thinking about this, it can happen, and that does make it fun because you do have to get a little bit more strategic with it.
Exactly. So the final thing, there's I want to call them technique. I mean, it just sounds silly calling them this, but techniques, I guess, in this game. think is how you say it. I believe everybody has access to these, if I'm not mistaken, no matter the job. Technics
They have
are the
access to
one
some.
thing.
Not all of them are open
Oh,
available
okay.
to all, but yeah,
Okay. But at least this first one, I think a bunch of them have Libra,
yeah.
which is kind of nice actually. So
Yeah, it's like a scan, and it'll say like detect traps or something, which we'll get to. But just the scan itself is very helpful because you can see the what level is your enemy, how much health do they have, kind of stuff like that. And so that's always a nice thing to know, right? In these kind of games. Honorable mention too that shields one, we can buy the first shields, and shields are pretty nice in this because they increase evasion quite a bit, and then also sometimes like magic evasion will get mixed in there, and that's nice because obviously you can block now too. You'll hear the cring, and you'll get all
yeah.
the fun stuff with that.
And anytime you have a character that can equip them, it's just such a huge benefit to get those blocks. Because on top of that, you can get parries with your weapons. So certain weapons like the rods or
Yeah,
staves tend to have really, really good defense, like parry evasion. And then on top of that, we also have a new hunt available. So if you go back to the Sandsea and go check on the board, the posting board there, you also got hunt number 2. This one is Wolf in the Wastes. Thextera is this one. Is
yeah.
pretty tough at this point.
You could go get Penelo. You could go get Penelo. You could go do some additional things and come back to this, obviously. But because you can get it right now, it's kind of interesting to think about. Like, okay, well, why don't you go? Let's go do it. let's go take it on. So we're gonna do that. Let's do it solo. So let's go ahead and talk to Gatsley. Right, you accept this thing. Gatsley's right on the floor. It's not doing well, man. His shop's like over. I don't know. It's something. It's some sob story. I don't want to hear it, Gatsley. Just tell me what the pay is. Right. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
It's gonna be dangerous if you do it solo. So it's in the it's what in the west sand or whatever the heck the
Yeah,
west side.
Wester Sand.
It's in the western sand, and so you got to go there. It's right up to the side. We're not gonna get too detailed on this, but this one's actually pretty interesting because it's kind of like the first pack one you get. We only had Rogue Tomato to go off at this point, but there's already some wolves around. Specifically next to Thextera, which will be impossible to miss because this thing's massive, dude. You're like, oh my gosh, I was just killing giant rats, and now this, I'm ready for anything.
Yeah, right.
Oh man,
Yeah,
but
seriously.
yeah, dude, this thing, it'll have usually 2 to 3 wolves with it nearby, and if you kind of venture and let your guy just move around as you get in battle, it's pretty easy to pick up some other ones. So that's usually the tough bit because yeah, man, I mean you're already outnumbered. So first thing, man, what do? You got to take out the small ones, right?
Got to kind of clear the area a little bit because you need a little bit of room to move around, and also these guys kind of move around. The wolves do,
Yeah,
so they tend to like to sort of creep over there, and then they just start attacking you. You want to make sure to get those guys taken care of. And then the other thing that was kind of interesting, we were doing our playthrough. I didn't know that it's kind of chance based whether Thextera has one wolf or two wolves with him. So that was something new I didn't know about Thextera.
interesting.
And yeah, you kind of want to play the RNG with this one, it seems like, because we managed to get one with one. Obviously, it makes it a heck of a lot easier.
Yeah,
Or the
definitely.
second one will be sort of like off in the distance to where he loses track of the battle or something like that. But the Sexter is pretty tough. He's doing like 25 damage a hit.
Yeah, definitely have
And
to have some potions for
yeah,
sure.
and it gets pretty bad because once it gets down to a certain HP threshold, I think it's somewhere around 33% or maybe 25. He uses a call for help, which summons a couple of wolves back into the battle, which is really annoying. So you have to take them out. And he uses Saber, which increases his strength. And then he can start to use Crushing Fangs, or not Crushing Fangs. I think it's just Fangs is the
Yeah.
name of the attack. Something like that.
It's kind of
But
like some quick succession things, especially it'll generally be, it's always going to be the call for help, so you'll get one more wolf. At this point, I don't know. I mean, it really kind of depends on where his health is because it seems to be like a wide range. But if he's not even close to critical, I would take out the small wolf because I mean, then once stuff happens, it goes pretty quick. You don't need that extra damage hitting you, and so Saber was an interesting one, man. We had to look into this a little bit because yeah, we always knew he started hits hard, so it's like it's got to be a strength boost, which it is. But then it's kind of like this like reverse vampire effect where like he will also be damaged for the amount he deals. So while you are going to be starting to get hit for way more, it also hurts him just as much, because we were like, oh my gosh, we're trying
Yeah,
to
that
heal,
was
heal
interesting.
ourselves to live, but we were still doing damage somehow. I was like, whoa, how? And
Yeah.
yeah, we would see the ticks. And so, yeah. So that's kind of interesting. But the main thing is Fanes. Yeah, I mean, when crushing Fanes go off, you gotta have like over 100 health. And dude, wasn't it so clutch in our playthrough, man? Epic moment. We're gonna die. Potion was ready to go off. Vaughn just sticks that rod
Yeah.
up like Gandalf style, said, no! And boom, parried Fanes. I was like, oh, yes. That's what I'm
Oh,
talking
dude,
about.
it was incredibly clutch, yeah. Because there was no way. I mean, that's the thing. Really, really hard to beat Thextera that early on when Vaughn has like 151 HP. You can't keep him above 100 because at that point too, a lot of these bosses and marks and hunts and all that, they start to get crazy combo rates. So he'll start just like
Well,
like
dude,
four
we got
hits in a
4. Yeah,
row.
we got 4, and one of them was like, "Oh my gosh, man, come on, this is
Yeah.
we're like level 2 guy. Take it easy."
Yeah. So you do got to get lucky with the parries and the blocks.
It
It's
helps.
kind of how this
Yeah,
game goes in a lot of ways.
or
So
just be very careful and mindful of your health. Usually, best to not gamble with it, especially when after he calls for help. Just make sure you top off because it happens fast, and we all know how it goes. We were experienced it then too. It's like, yes, didn't take long to remember this, huh? Use an item, and I still need to wait like 15 seconds until you can do anything else, huh, dude? I'm running
yeah,
around. You can't do anything else with your hands, Vaughn. Come on, man. What are we waiting for?
seriously.
That delay, it's rough for us. Be careful. But hey, man, you take down Thextera all by yourself. Pretty sweet feat. Time to go turn it in. You'll actually get a pretty good prize, 500 gil. That's pretty good. Head guard, which is that I think it's that second tier one, and the
Hmm.
teleport stone, which you'd be like, what is this for right now? Well, definitely hold on to that. Those are important.
Yeah, that one's actually a really good prize, to be honest. In the grand scheme of things, kind of forgot to mention. So, since you're out in the desert, you can go check out Nalbina Fortress, which is kind of the other side. It's Easter Sand. You can go further east. Basically, you find your way there. You have to go north a little bit.
Yeah.
But you got some new weapons here, which is kind of cool. We were talking about mages earlier, and you can actually finally, at the weapon place, you can finally buy rods, staves, crossbows, and maces now.
Yeah. And that's like all the mage stuff. Yeah. And so without going like too much, we'll probably just go into detail as we go rather than all at once. But because this is a smaller amount here, the maces are actually pretty interesting, like on how they calculate damage and stuff. All the weapons, they calculate damage differently based on different stats and things. I guess they're thinking more paladin kind of style. I don't know, but it's based on your strength and magic. And so having a
Mm.
mixture sometimes of light and heavy armor can help balance and give you kind of a boost in both directions. For maybe a character who is, I mean, if you're using a mace, you're probably using a shield. I guess you might have a crazy access to scales or something, but you're going to be up there, right? I mean, you're going to be hitting, you're going to be casting spells and stuff. I guess that's their thought with it, but just kind of an interesting one. You can also buy Thunder, so that's a spell that's available here. And then I think we did forget to mention, so some spells are missable in a way of they're just in chests. So Silence is actually right outside the entrance to Nalbida Dungeon. It's just in one of the treasures there. One of the few ones that we're going to call out, as we go. Mostly, there's tons of treasures out there, guys. Go for it. This is going to be a bunch of potions and moats and crap. Not worth it.
Yeah, most
Not
of
worth
them
my
are,
time.
as we've always found, you
Gil.
should just get Gil.
But pretty cool. Okay, so we got that variety. Now, you took out Thextera, you're like, cool, time to move on the story. Nope, actually. So, after you do Thextera, hunt number 3, Dalmasca's Desert Bloom, which is the flowering cactoid. That opens up. That's kind of crazy, man. You're like, you haven't even gone and talked to, Vaughn at the end of his soul. He was like, I need to go talk to old Dalan in Lowtown. He
Yeah.
he mentioned
Yeah.
like, and it's like, no, but first I'm gonna do these hunts, and we're gonna do this. So
Yeah, they quick succession of them. This is a really interesting one, especially at this point right now, because, trying to go about this solo is pretty tough. But it's definitely something to talk about. It's kind of interesting, man. I mean, you've tried this several times, right?
I
And
have tried
so,
this, yeah. And so you could
uh,
still go without Penelo. You can go solo. You got to go talk to the guy. I'm spacing on his name, but he's just in that little camp right past Esterstan on the way to Nalbina. You talk to him. He has this little cutscene of these 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 cactoids, man. They like come and taunt you, I guess. They're like,
Oh,
poor
that little
chapper there
dance
got
that they do.
needles in his storage. I don't envy him. It's like, what? These cactides,
Yeah.
what the heck, man? You guys just come and shoot needles and things, you little jerks. Get out of here.
I just like the way that they're standing on the top of the cliff, and there's like the big one, the flowering one, and then like the
That's
little
him.
baby ones, and they're all doing the
Look how he
wave.
mocks us.
they're they're all like doing the wave, basically their
The
little
dance. What?
their little dance thing with their arms and whatnot.
Oh, dude, it's pretty hysterical. So that's the hunt. We got to kill that thing. And in solo, oh man, it's okay. We'll go through it. It is worth talking about because maybe it's possible. The thing about this dude, man, is we're also we're introduced to the first parry fiend, man. This thing, oh my gosh, if you chose like a physical job or you just still have Vaan and his dagger, you'll just notice like probably, dude, I want to say at least 3/5 of the time, parry, 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 parry. You're
Yeah.
like, please, come on, please.
Yeah.
And then you'll hit up, it'll be like 19, parry,
Yeah.
parry, parry. It's like, oh my gosh.
He's got crazy evasion. Doesn't even use anything interesting for the first like 50% of his HP.
Yeah.
Right? I think it just does regular attacks that do maybe 20 damage or something like that. Nothing too crazy.
Yeah.
But
Attacks maybe a little faster, maybe might get like a 2-hit combo. It's not, it's
yeah.
not frequent and
And same issue with this one as the one before too. You're in the part just past that little encampment in the Ester Sand. You've got a whole bunch of the cockatrices going around. You've still got the wolves around, and sometimes you might have to clear out that area as well, just a little
yeah.
bit.
Yeah,
Give
clear it out.
yourself some room to move around.
It kind of brings it back to Rogue Tomato, where sometimes they run away, right? And we mentioned that during Rogue Tomato, and that is one of this. So I think it is like just 75, 50%. I think it's something around there where he'll start to run to different areas, and he does it twice. Yeah, you're going to be pulling the things along the way if you don't clear it out. So that does make it hard because you will pause at some point, and then you'll all of a sudden have 3 on you, and it's like, oh crap. So clearing does help. Regardless, you can make it this far. I have. I mean, it's not a big deal. I mean, you just got to make it through. You got to make sure you don't have enough potions or just different things to do. But without fail, classic, just Quacktar, Cactide, Cactar, whatever one you want to call it, Jumbo Cactar. They have their needles, man. So he will use 1,000 needles. And I'm sorry, unless you just did insane training, then because you're a madman, you don't have
Just
more than 1,000 health at this point.
yeah. What you'll typically do is just run, like you'll just
Yeah,
try to
they
get
just
out of there. You
you just
won't.
hear them flying at you, and up.
Yep, you won't be able to outrun him. It's like if he's within proximity to at least execute the attack, it'll just be like little needles and everything. It'll do 1,000 damage. I
Yeah.
don't think there's a way to avoid it unless
My
maybe
only
can
thing
glitch
is,
the game to where you can use a Phoenix down just in
yeah,
time. But yeah, good luck with that one. It's a tough one.
that would be a hard time window to try to get to. Just
May be able to like take him out quickly with quickenings if you have 2 at this point. One's definitely not going to do
if you
it,
have
so you'd have
2,
to have like
if you have
2.
2
Well,
quickenings at this point, dude, you know how much training that'd be? That's
oh, a
insane.
lot. No, I
Well,
know.
yeah,
I
okay.
know.
Well,
That's what
all
I'm
right.
saying. The
Let's
only
do
ways that you can get
feasible. I
past
don't
it.
want to. Yeah, okay. If we had a spaceship and just can blast them away with a Death
There's no
Star, that
way.
would
Yeah,
help too.
exactly. There's no feasible way that you're really going to do it. Can cast fire to avoid the parry issue. So if you chose Black Mage, Red Battle Mage,
Well, so
possibly. Well,
it's
actually, even
actually
that, I don't think
it's
it.
only Black Mage because it'd be for Vaughn right
Yeah,
now. So unless
yeah.
unless you
So
went Black Mage with Vaughn, now if you did, you might be able to
might
time the
get lucky.
damage. Maybe you might be able to just finish him off with that last hit and kind of skip that whole phase because it seems to be like critical-ish, right? Like 10 to 20%. So if you did somehow line it up for that last fire, which I think it does like 60 to 80 damage, or something like that. I mean, it makes it cakewalk, especially if you go get Penelo, turn both them Black Mages to come do this, you're just gonna be laughing. You're like, ha 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 ha. I mean, you're just gonna be
Yeah.
firing those fires right and left, and it's just gonna take them out instantly. You might be able to time that, but other than that, man, I don't see a way. You'd have to just get real lucky.
Yeah, pretty much. That's the honest truth of it. At this point, we basically just continue on with the story. So we go talk to old Dalan down in Lowtown,
Oh, if
and
it isn't Van Retzbane. All right, Russian guy, take it easy here. How'd you hear
Yeah,
about?
he's
So you heard about my rat tricks, have you? I'm famous.
so he's sitting there smoking his hookah. He's got like a little rabbit
He's got
cat or
he's got
something
his
like that. It's kind of
pink
weird.
bunny.
Vaughn is asking him, he's like, okay, so yeah, you heard about that banquet, huh? Yeah, I'm thinking about crashing the party, but I wasn't exactly invited, essentially, He's just like, hey, wanna help a provincial out?
Want to help a rat Spain killer out, huh?
Or about Spain, yeah.
Well, just so happens that old Dalan does know a way. Interesting. Oh, and he's like, oh yes, okay. You're moving up in business, huh? Taking back what's ours. Going with that line. Yeah, I got you. Well,
Yeah,
it's still
right.
theft, so okay, whatever way. It's still not yours. But he likes it. He wants to help him bust in. He tells him about a magic stone, man. He's like, yeah, it's gonna open a secret passageway. Typical fashion, man. It's lost its magics. You need a sunstone to charge it.
Yeah,
It's
of
always
course.
something.
I know, seriously. I love how they just say it. It's like, oh, yeah, I know 100% what's going on here. It's lost its
Of
magics.
course, then we're gonna go fight a Gorkle and get its tongue and ride it to fairyland, and then we're gonna hop
Right.
into a cloud and go down a tunnel. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah. We got to basically get this item. We have to go to the Giza Plains and we need this sunstone in order to find this little secret passageway that he's talking about.
Yeah, it's gonna charge this other stone. We'll get in. It's like a key, essentially, is what we're taking it as. So we got to go to the Giza Plains. So it's south. That's the last one, South Gate. How do you like this, man? How do you like the city? So Rabanastar, right? We've actually gone through every
Yeah.
gate now. We've gone to all the different areas. It was kind of cool. I like how I know it's as simple as this. Literally, don't make fun of me, guys. I know it's simple as literally just naming something Southgate, but it's like, yeah, dude, Southgate. Heck yeah, Southgate bunt cake. How can you not think of
Oh, yeah.
that? it has that
Oh,
feel
that's
to it.
a
You're like,
good
yeah,
throwback.
Southgate.
Oh, it'd be nice if we could get some bunk cake. And Giza Plains is pretty cool too, honestly. When you get out there, it's sort of more like savannah. It's
Yeah,
more
yeah, it
like
is.
African savannah kind of
Yeah,
thing. You've got hyenas right off the bat. Yeah, you got a new subset of enemies, which is kind of nice. You also got these cute little bunnies. You can it's kind of funny. You can steal drab wool from them, which actually isn't all that bad. It sells for like 60 gil, I think. So
yeah. It's kind of like the new high selling item. And of course, all this stuff goes in the bazaar, which we will get to, and we'll go through different ways and things like that. So we will talk about these things. Just kind of, we don't want to overload too much with these episodes with just a lot of going through lists and things. But yeah, man, I mean, we got new bunnies, hyenas, some new treasures. There's a spell here. What was it? Was it blind? I think it was blind. We'll double back on that just to make sure. But just kind of the highlights of Giza Plains. That's it. But well, we need to go in the center though, and then you need to kind of just venture and talk to people. You'll talk to some granny sitting on the ground. You'll start talking about sunstones, and how they'll kind of look up at this big dark one, and then you got to go talk to some other lady. You guys talk about this dark one. I'm kind of like going through it fast. It's something like this. But you got to go around. You got to charge these stones with the other ones that are around, and usually the kids will go out and they'll go and charge these small stones with these giant glowing ones. I mean, that's kind of cool thing about Giza as well, right? We got these gigantic, just like heavenly glowing stones. So bright it is.
yeah, exactly. And I mean that pretty much is the gist of it. We like they get that energy, these giant crystals that we're supposed to charge this sort of smaller shard of it. But I mean, first, we get to see an old friend out here.
Jin, I guess some boy named Jin was lost, so we got to go like find him. And I guess we're two birds, one stone. He has the charged sunstone. We got to go find him. So you accept. After you do that, yeah, we got. I don't know. There's like a group of like little tiny baby cockatrices and some kids, and here comes Penelo. She stands up like, "Oh hey, Vayne, up to no good." It's like, well, okay,
Yeah.
bye. I don't want to talk to you anyways. Then jerk. Like, what? First off, are you stalking me? Second, like that's no way to greet someone.
Yeah, just kind of creeping me out here.
You're creeping
Like
me
stalking
out.
Vaughn. Literally everywhere he goes. Just
You
gotta
see
like
me
make
peeing
sure
in the
that Vaughn's
bushes over there
okay.
too?
Come on, Penelo. Yep. She's gonna help us find Jin. Great name, right? Jin.
Jin. Yes. Yeah, she is going to help us. And so she joins the party. So you get to choose another job, go with wherever you want. So we'll go out, we'll update them, I guess, on how we're doing it, right? So with Vaughn, we made him a white mage. So that'll be pretty fun. Penelo, we went with machinist. We figure that might be pretty interesting as well. And so we'll kind of see how those go. But regardless, we kind of get this very brief and fast introduction to like the gambit system. Essentially, you can just turn the auto ones on and off. And so that's all that goes there. Pretty cool, man. I mean, all that kind of happens if you try to leave. We do have a shop here, and we get introduced to some more new stuff.
Yeah, exactly. We actually have accessories now, which is pretty sweet. So that's a new one. Weapons, armor, shield, all that kind of stuff is either the same or there's nothing new to talk about there. But the accessories it definitely is. So we've actually got something pretty good here. Got the bangle. And accessories, just like everything else, you need to have the license for them. And I believe this is the one I was thinking of, not Technics earlier, but this is the one that almost every job has, right? Like as far as accessories,
They have all of them.
they
Yeah.
have this. Yeah,
All
exactly. They
jobs
all
have
have the
all
same.
accessories. Yeah.
Right. So this is really nice because Bangle equips comes with Libra. So you can just basically, since you have don't really have anything else at this point, you can equip that. And then you also have the ammo and the items.
Yeah. Which you could get at Rabanastre as well. We kind of just went over it, but this one's like an all stop one shot, man. It's pretty nice. In items, lastly, they kind of slow roll them in this one, don't they? I mean, they really do. Right now, it's like potions and eye drops. That's pretty much it.
Really don't have much off the right off the bat, but at least with those, potions are really useful at this point. So you can always just stock up on them.
Yeah. Yeah, a little bit better than Cure. But I think that is where we're going to end it for this episode. We covered quite a bit. We'll, again, kind of slow roll some of the info. I think we'll need to dig into the bazaar here pretty soon before it just gets away from us. So we'll have to do that a
Yeah,
little
that's
bit.
true.
It's been fun. We just like to thank you all for hanging out, just listen to the podcast, supporting us in that way. We appreciate it. It's we're really enjoying this one, slapping it together. I think it's probably easy to tell, man. We can go into as much detail as we want here. It'd be pretty nuts. We'll spare people that, but this one's just
Yeah.
so in depth.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's been a good time as usual, though.
Absolutely. All right, we'll catch you all in the next one. I'm Mark,
And I'm Alex.
and this is Final Stop for Final Fantasy Talks.